Now then, for you bone token holders, I got you a fantastic update. It's an update that you can't afford to miss, as I do have the big players in the house. I'm talking about Calvin J, Shib and also some of the big projects running on Shibarium. We're gonna start off with Sleepy J. Sleepy J is one of the new projects running on the L2 solution. So, Sleepy J, take over and let the Shib Army know what you're all about.
Thanks for having me here. It is a pleasure. I've listened to a couple, albeit not the whole way through. The one with Shiba Punks you guys had, I listened in, and obviously follow you, Neo Bender on Twitter, and follow what you guys do. So, I mean, with Sleepy Shibs, man. I mean, I think it was I wasn't looking at the screen. I'm still getting to know you guys. I think it might have been Calvin that was touching on the kind of FOMO, obviously bringing the magazines in, and more NFTs are coming onto the scene, and all this kind of stuff. And I actually set out with like a target. It wasn't an end target, but I would have been happy of hitting like stake numbers between kind of like 50 and 75% staked. I think, Queen, if you were there, you remember I was estimating the numbers to be around like 30, 35 kind of at peak, like during the first couple of months, stake percentage out of the 3,333 that we've got. And like sometimes I have to check, and I'm gonna do it again now. Sometimes I'm like, is Shibarium scam broken? We're so stable. Like obviously with all these other NFT projects coming in, I don't ever get nervous or scared or worried, but I love my project and I love what I do. And obviously, I don't want to see that number drop naturally. But it doesn't. And that's not to say the floor price doesn't move, because it does. But to see the amount of people, the amount of NFTs that are staked stay really, really kind of between the 60, let me just check before I jinx it. But we're hovering like between like 65 and 72%. I think around 68% staked on average. And that was like kind of really, really, that happened really quickly. That was like within the first 8 days, we were up to about 58% staked. And so yeah, my kind of not end goal, but my target was within a few months, I'd been happy to set like 75% staked. And then my ultimate goal in terms of like secondary listing numbers is like 3% and under. And I believe that, if I can keep delivering the narrative and the fun stuff, and keep building on the community, and another thing that I believe is really important is not to overdo it with a lot of projects that get really, not on Shibarium, just NFT projects I've been part of myself. I'm sure we've all been part of projects that do so well. They don't necessarily do them as cash grabs, but they end up kind of diluting their product by maybe launching side collections and whatnot. And there are so many bullish aspects to what I get, so many ideas of ways we could use those kind of things, and for them to clearly not be cash grabs, but at the same time, I'm trying not to go down that road. But there is one project that are doing that great, and they're setting an example. If I was to do something like that, it would be kind of like what Shiba Punks are doing. They're leading one onto another, and they're doing it in a way that's, I don't know what their numbers are, but it's something crazy, like 78, 80% staked with their spookies at the moment. So yeah, I mean, obviously Sleepy Ships, it's all about fun. The art's supposed to be cute and fun. We're inspired by our icy friends across the pond. We didn't want to say names, but I think most people know Pudgy and those guys there. It's my favorite NFT collection, and you can clearly see we're not trying to copy them, but just literally inspired by that kind of cute, kind of pudgy art. And that was where they got the inspiration from. And I built a narrative. At first, I wasn't supposed to be so heavily involved in the. Well, I wasn't supposed to be kind of the core leader of the project. But it's a very fortunate series of events have led it to be this way, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And I got asked to step up, and naturally, I ended up just taking taking control of everything within the first few days, and I built a narrative. So for those that don't know, obviously we do have staking, and we do have no kind of locks there, so you're not tied down to staking for a minimum period of time or paying any fees apart from the gas fees. So you stake your NFTs. You can stake anything up to 99 NFTs, which is the max bag. Sounds a lot, but yeah, 99 of 3,333, 3% of the supply I went for was the max bag, and you can stake as many as you want, but you do need 3 NFTs to be able to stake. Yeah. So you get paid in BODE, which is obviously an asset of, not locally, but over time appreciating value. I think we all know that we're in for some nice X's on BODE, regardless. And that's bullish in itself. So I was quite happy with dropping that as a surprise. After minting out really quickly, I dropped a little, what do I call it, snooze paper. It was kind of to throw people off, and if people were happy with what was on that little mini roadmap, I knew they'd be happy with the surprises. So yeah, we dropped the stake in. That's gone down a storm, and then I've basically got like an 11-page plan. I mean, it looks an absolute mess, but I literally have I change parts of it every day and whatnot. But what is solidified is the staking will be permanent, and the rewards 0.0293 per NFT per day. So it all depends on the price that you pay for your NFTs, but obviously mint price was like 6 bone each. Now we're looking at it's kind of volatile at the moment, between 14 and 20. So it all depends how much you look into the project and how much you think is worth it. But staking a max bag, if you keep them staked, we don't talk about any other aspect of earnings or rewards, which there are other things. I think it works out. You get your investment back basically if you was to put a max bag in around 80 days. So forget the price of the asset. You basically, whatever you paid, you're going to get that back because you're getting the rewards back in bone, and that's not taking into account the fact that bone is slowly rising. But also it could drop. It could drop by 50%. I don't want to lead people astray there and whatnot. But yeah, so that's something really stable, and I think that in this, it's still a meme. Sleepy Chip's still a meme project. Although I take it seriously. I understand from people coming in, bridging over for the first time to ape whatever it is they see us. Are they going to be confident enough to invest a lot of money on the basis that it's going to be stable enough for 80 days? I only hope I can make them feel that way. But that's the aim. That's the aim. So if people are happy with that, they're happy in the TG, and they're happy having fun. We've got quite a new addition to the gang called Sarah. So I don't know if you guys have heard the lullaby, but if you haven't been into the TG, it's just at Sleepy Shibs. She's made a new version today. You might get to hear me rap soon. She's made a beat for it, and she's adamant I've got to make some lyrics and join in. So basically, yeah, we've got the staking. That's just like black and white. Straight rewards. It's fun. And then we've got our sleepy pills. So if you essentially everyone that staked got one. It's very flexible on the first sleepy pill. And what essentially they do is they're airdropped weekly. They're NFTs. You can't mint them. You can't. I think they have been listed on MarsSwap for trading, but you know, I wouldn't sell them if you've got one. But you know, so technically you can trade them or transfer them between yourselves. But you know, they're not. Then they weren't mintable. I mint them all. Total 50 a week, and that number will drop weekly as people disobey. So basically, if you stick to the rules and you get your fourth dose, you will get a physical sleepy pill. Now, that's one of our product lines that we have with Shiba calls. I haven't actually announced this, excuse me, in the TG, but yeah. So we're just going to be asking people that want one of those to cover postage, and I'm going to be covering the costs, the manufacturer, the prototypes, and everything that I've paid. We won't be charging for those. People will have earned those. They will then obviously be scannable, and they'll be linked to your actual sleepy pill ID, NFT ID. Once you've scanned that, so you would have earned 4 sleepy pill doses, and the way that you ensure to keep getting them weekly is the goalposts may move, but basically, you know, because as things adapt, I might have to change numbers, but roughly, you know, I'm going to let people kind of play with 10% of their holdings. You know, so if you've got 100 NFTs in a week, you're allowed to sell 10 and still be entitled to your next week's sleepy pill dose. I think that's quite generous. I mean, I might lower that down to 5%, but stay flexible at the start. So today, everyone's due their second dose. It's the second week of them. On the 4th, I am tired. I'm going to point out that you know, just to make this really clear, once you're staked, you know, you have to remain a faithful holder. I do make exceptions if you've got to switch wallets or you accidentally sell one, puts you onto 11% instead of the 10% leeway. Everyone that knows me know I'm really flexible. I'm soft in that way. So you know, you stick around, be a good holder, and you'll keep getting them. And then on the 6th, you get a snoring shib. So basically, your favorite sleepy shib, it will have had to have stayed in the same wallet as the first dose NFT from last week. It doesn't really matter if you move the second, the third, the fourth, or the 5th dose to other wallets because they're tracked, you know, that you've got them. But when you received that first sleepy pill last week, and guys, anyone that's joining me today and wants to buy a couple of NFTs at floor price, wants to shoot me a DM and ask if they can get a sleepy pill, you know, you need the first dose, right? I still have a few to allocate. You know, you can't just buy one NFT and just DM me and get one. It's not like that. But you know, if you're a familiar face and you know, or whatever, or you forgot to, you know, stake or whatever, I'll let you have one still, while stocks last. So yeah, basically on the 4th you get a physical one, and when you scan that physical, when it arrives at your address, providing you pay for postage, you're then entitled to something that I'm not going to explain fully. It hasn't been explained publicly, but it's sleepy treats. Now this involves a partnership with another big project that's yet to be announced. It's what it says on the tin. So basically, this is all designed to reward people. It's all designed to get people staked. It's all designed to give you hits, you know, get your dopamine receptors tingling always, financially as well, rewarding. And what happens then is that people stay staked. They don't list them for sale. It's the opposite of what you want if you're a, a dev of a token, I guess. You want volume. You want price action. You want volume. I don't want that. I'm the same as Queen here. All my holders. I minted for the same cost as everyone else. I'm still buying and accumulating now. And royalties go to Shibarium and Shabi and third partner. So I am here to make Sleepy Shibs a blue chip, and a blue chip to me means an NFT that's one of the top dogs on the chain, no pun intended. And my recipe is keeping people having fun whilst rewarding them, because in this space, people aren't going to stay staked for 2 years, 3 years for the bone rewards, even though they're great, because one day like they'll FOMO into a big hyped ETH team that have come over and they migrated and they're going to launch or whatever. And to stop people from doing that and rotating, that's why I've drawn up this plan. So yeah, Sleepy Pills on the 6th. You get to choose your favorite Sleepy Shib, and it evolves. So you keep the old Sleepy Shib. You will actually receive a 1-to-1 of that Sleepy Shib, but the metadata will have essentially leveled up. So on chain, we'll have like basically 2 extra collections. So we'll have snoring Shibs and we'll have evolution level Sleepies. So they just basically give you as a holder, without paying extra, more value in your wallet. I don't know, if you want to go and sell those on, you can. People will want to buy them. So yeah. With the Sleepy treats, all I'll say is that you will be rewarded if you're a small holder. So right now, you're earning decent money, guys. And someone interrupt me in a minute because I could talk all day. But basically, right now, if you're staking a couple of NFTs, they probably only cost you 20 bones. So it's all relevant. It's all proportional. But you're not going to be forgotten about if you're a small holder. I always mention, if you stake in a max bag, you'll get a huge return or whatever. Well, Sleepy treats are designed to reward, and these come in on the 4th week of Sleepy Pills, so 3 weeks from now. These will be rewarding people not in bone, not in our sleep token, in various other tokens, Shibarium tokens. Okay, that's what I can say. And the people that will be rewarded with Sleepy treats will be loyal holders. So this is going to come in on the 4th week of Sleepy Pills, and the reason being, I couldn't introduce it before then because the actual kind of tracking, the script and what's being developed to actually monitor each wallet and the income and outgoing staking transactions, listings on Mantra. It's quite but for me, it's kind of out of my zone in terms of my coding skills. So I'm having that done properly. And when that's ready, we'll be rewarding people regularly, like weekly. People that have only got 1 NFT might receive substantial rewards just because they've never moved it. They've been their wallet's been active trading other tokens, but they've never moved that 1 Sleepy Shib that they could afford, or their 20 bones worth of tokens. That's all I'll say about Sleepy treats. So you got your staking rewards, you got your sleepy pills, you got your sleepy treats. Then you've got your snoring SHIB. That's the evolved sleepy SHIB. So you've had so many doses of sleepium, which is my own invention. Each one's a hit of 3,333 milligrams of sleepium. Have a look at the description on Shibarium scan. If I do say so myself, it makes me laugh when I read it. But basically, yeah. What I will be doing is taking on more suggestions from community members as we grow in terms of what can be done in the TG. Competitions, giveaways, things like that. Now, anyone who is part of my community, I don't want to ever ask anyone to do something for me and I give them funds. Not with this project. People come to me like Sarah did with a song or a track or something funny or a meme or whatever. They'll get rewarded, probably a lot more handsomely than they would expect. So that's one thing. In my plan, I could do with improvement. Is I don't think you can ever have a community level that it can never be improved. So day by day, it's getting more fun in there and whatnot. And today, SHIB's just blowing up. The whole market's blowing up. The stars are aligning. We've been hit a little bit with loan sharks that have kind of eased off a little bit, but offering 20 minutes for people to pay back their bone for, if someone puts NFTs down as collateral, it's kind of their fault if they lose them, right? But if the person that's lending that bone goes and then lists those NFTs that have been defaulted for what they lent out or lower, that's just clearly trying to mess with the price of the token. There have been some developments since this started happening. One, this has slowed down. Two, it started happening on other projects. Three, somebody who I suspected it to be was an old friend of mine, has apologized about something, or I won't go into a thing or two, and we'll be seeing a lot less of that. Shout out to Shibarium University as well for the article Shabi released yesterday. We just got to raise awareness. We just got to educate people. We just got to let people know that are borrowing, because as long as Mantra has a borrowing and lending protocol service, which it does, and it's great, people will borrow money. They will. It's just the way the world works. So if there aren't fairer pools, people will go to these 50% interest, half a day to pay back, 5 bone for your NFT pools. Everyone that speaks to me is like, yeah, but why would somebody do that? It's just I don't know what they do. So hopefully we'll catch up another time about this. But you follow my tweets, guys, because there's a development in this, and it requires a couple of other people on my radar to talk to. But we might have an initiative of not just putting money together and offering large scale pools that are fair, but something more of a fair lenders association, as it were. That's in development stages, and it's not directly Sleepy Shibs related, but it'll be for any project. Like Dream, I saw some kind of malicious lending intent. SAYC, I don't really know much about that project, but I see them building, so raise awareness for them as well. And I think this is where one of you guys tell me to shut up or ask me a question.
Go ahead, Crystal Queen. And thank you, Sleepy Ship.
Yeah, Jay, I want to say thank you for bringing that to light because I think a lot of us that were in Shibarium from the very beginning have noticed this, and it is indeed a problem, and I'm glad it's getting better. And like I said, you bringing some transparency to it, so that says a lot about your character and just in your project in general. And I've been glad to see that. I
Well,
haven't read the university publication. I saw the title that came out about lending NFTs, and that just sparked my interest. I need to find a minute to read that. But yeah, some of those I've tried to steer people away as well from some of those half a day or a couple hours, 15-minute lending pools. That's crazy, crazy. But I've just
I
really
know it still baffles me, you know, like why would somebody do that? But for example, my nephew is 11 years old, just turned 11, and I gave him 20 bone a few weeks ago, and showed him how to. Well, I downloaded MetaMask for him, showed him what sleepy shibs were, and showed him what mantra was. Didn't obviously tell him about borrowing money or lending money. I'd teach him not to do that at that age, but he's a wise kid. I'm not worried about that. But the fact that he's 11 and he's trading, he started with 20 bone. Now he's got, I don't know, a few days ago he had like 15 bone and 6 sleepy shifts, so he's not doing too badly. But there's an 11-year-old on mantra. There are people who are young. There are people who are desperate. Their wife got rushed into hospital. They just see the pool capacity 1,000 bone. They don't look at how much per item maybe, and that's the only explanation I can think of why people would use these pools. We can't blame Mantra. I can't even blame the lenders. We can be annoyed at what they do, but we can't blame them. Can't blame anyone because it's DeFi, So yeah, raising awareness, and you're one of the people that's showed genuine care about that as well. Even though you don't run your own project that's been directly affected. And I think it's just across the board. I won't say names or anything, but I've been made aware of somebody who's doing it today, and let's just say they run, or they are starting a project. So there's always going to be. It's not the same person doing it all the time. There's always going to be someone trying to to do this. So it's about raising awareness, and I've thought about going to more tip from Mantra, who I know really well, and asking to put like a minimum 3-day or minimum restrictions on, but then it defeats the whole point of DeFi. So yeah, personally, it'd be cool if we can get what I'm planning done, which would mean that there'll be a board of people and kind of like a DAO, and it would be the people on that board would decide who are the projects that are working hard or building, and those projects then would get like 5-day and 5 or 7-day, 28 or 31-day pools, both with Bone and Leash, and they'd be split into small amounts. So it wouldn't be like one big pool every month for 30 days with a load of Bone in it or a load of Leash. It'd be, if I can try and push this to happen, it'll be awesome, because people that want to borrow money will be able to borrow liquidity. Projects would not only not have their floor price ruined on purpose, but yeah, those malicious lenders wouldn't. Well, they'd be pushed out of it, and even better, the profits, because there would be profits. It wouldn't be for profit, but there'd be profits, whether it's from a small amount of interest, or the NFTs that are defaulted, and borrowers that don't pay their loans back. This board of people end up with NFTs from projects that they respect or own or are part of the team of. And there are so many fun, cool, like there's some real cool innovation that can be done if a group of people comes together and does what I'd like to make happen. So, you know, that's just a little bit different to why I'm here. You know, it's not Sleepy Shibs directly, but it would benefit the whole of Shibarium in terms of NFT projects. So yeah, that's something I'm quite passionate about. You know, so anyone that's building, you know, deserves. You know, what goes up must come down. We went from like 3-bone floor at one point to like 43-bone floor in a really short space of time. So obviously, you know, there are dips, but you know, this wasn't natural. You know, to go from stable 42-bone a few days in a row down to like 10, I think it was, quite dramatically. So I wasn't worried. Just like, oh, here we go, got to fight through this, put things on hold. But you know, there are some people that get disheartened and maybe aren't as resilient, and they might have put in months of work and have it all ruined because of something like that. So yeah, quite passionate about that as well.
Yeah, I hope it's okay if I just highlight a couple things, Bender, that that I have here just on paper that I didn't hear you say, Jay, and you may have said it and I just missed it, but some cool little facts that Sleepy Shibs was the first hand-drawn collection on Shibarium, which is cool. We had some
Mm-hmm.
pixelated and some generative collections, but this was the first hand-drawn, and I think they're so cute. The sleep token has a 99 out of 100 smart contract audit score, which is great. There's no fees or lock periods to stake your sleepy shibs. You can unlock and lock them in a day if you want to. And with bone prices, the gas fee so low, it's super cheap to do that. So sometimes if I just want to take a picture of one for something, that project I'm doing, I'll unstake it to take the picture and stake it back and don't even worry about it. That's pretty cool compared to ETH, you know. And then it was Shibarium's fastest NFT mint out at that point. How long did it take? Was it 3 or 4? Remind me how
So
long it.
yeah, it was the fastest. I'm not sure if that's still the case. It was the fastest if you compare the supply to how long it took. 3,333 so minted out in, I think, between 2 and 3 days, around 2 or 3 days, more like 72 hours, I think it was. Which, you know, coming from ETH and whatnot, you know, that might not be considered that fast, but you know, that was quite an achievement back then. I think maybe a project has done something similar or a bit faster for their numbers this week, but that's bound to happen, you know. And yeah, thanks for pointing those things out. A lot of achievements. We the most gains between the floor and between the lowest point of floor price and the highest so far is like 13x, and that was within, I think, 7 days, 8 days. I think we do have the most X's from mint to all-time high floor price as well. And yeah, sorry, you reminded me then as well with the sleep token. I have KYC now as well. I mean, I was KYC just, yeah, as Jay before, like, you know, people know I'm safe or whatnot, but I just wanted to go that extra step for anyone coming in not knowing who I was or whatever. So KYC through ShibaSwap. They use the licensed verif system of KYC. So just completed that and passed that the other day. Locked the liquidity for 88 years. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, you're hitting them. You're hitting them now, for sure. But a couple other things I want to talk about, which was exciting to me, was that you purchased some land in the metaverse to have a sleepy street. So, and then
Mm-hmm.
if you would talk a little bit about what you do with your sleep token tax, that would be awesome. And one other thing, it was featured, Sleepy Shibs were featured alongside Colonel Coop, Shiba Punks, Dream NFTs in Times Square on the billboards, courtesy of
Mm-hmm.
Shib Dream. So that was really awesome, and also featured in a magazine.
Yeah, shout out to Doug, shout out to Dream for that. That was, I mean, you know, I know I could go ahead and pay for these things, but for another NFT project, which I consider to be somebody I'd look up to, you know, I mean, you know, it's not somebody who's just appeared on the scene. They're well known, and you know, that was very, it was a proud moment. Maybe it might sound a bit over the top, but yeah, it was really cool. Because of that, obviously, then we got featured in the official Shibarium magazine as well. Not the Manny Pacquiao edition. And what else was it? Obviously, yeah, the article that came out this week. If you haven't read that, guys, I think someone might have mentioned it earlier when I was having connection issues, but Shib Dream wrote a great article about sleepy shibs, about a lot of the things we've touched on, summarized it really well. That's obviously easy to find on shibarmy.co. We're on the front page. And the token tax. So the token and the NFTs, ultimately, further down the line with the metaverse, we don't have much land at the moment, but what we do have is like bang roadside, stone's throw from Rocket Pond, and obviously, you know, being one of the areas that, well, I mean, I think it was due to open or due to be kind of ready a month or two ago now, but you know, these things take time, and delays on Shibarium have proven to end up shocking everyone. That's not something I'm rushing for. If anything, I'm kind of happy for it to take a couple months longer. But yeah, so ultimately, it's no, it's not going to change. For now, we're not in the metaverse. We're not providing metaverse rewards. As a chain grow, as the bull run approaches, as Shibarium and the team keeps smashing it out the park like they have been, volume will increase, and I'll be able to stick to the strict like tokenomics. So I've been transparent with I'm mainly obviously a update on Twitter, you know, in the TG. People get more information if you're in there. You know, I share the market wallet and the that's the thing. It's called the Treasury wallet. But essentially, in the future, when the volume does increase, those percentages that are allocated to this and this and that there'll be enough volume for me to stick to those. So if we were on ETH and we were a popular project that had 70% staked, we probably would have a lot of and we launched a token, we'd probably be having tens of thousands, potentially 100,000s of volume a week. So I'd already be able to say, look, we've got this much in bone stocked up in the metaverse rewards pool, because that's one of the main functions of the token. It's going to be used in games and just bits and bobs. It's going to be used in the metaverse to reward people, the token and bone. But what is and what does work perfectly and harmoniously, and it was awesome until that day where all these loans dumped the floor price, is basically we just, it's pretty straightforward. We sweep the NFT floor with the token tax. And then what I was doing then, which I hadn't really planned beforehand, I mean, I was just planning to give them away, the NFTs that are swept. Some I'd just not really have a plan for, keep them aside, you know. I would never burn any of the NFTs. I'm not burning any of our little sleepies ever. But yes, so what I do is just randomly, when what I would say is the people that deserve it
some people might find that controversial, but in the CG there was a day where it was the kind of familiar faces in the community. I'd say, I don't know, maybe 8 really kind of frequent community members who are also, they don't, they're sleepy pill, and you know, I don't monitor their wallets, but yeah, I was like, right. MarsSwap said that we got listed on there. I wouldn't advise to you know, please don't, how do I say this, don't trade on MarsSwap yet. Ian would be fine with me saying that because the royalties aren't set up properly on there yet. So anyway, you know, projects having mints on MarsSwap work absolutely perfectly and fine. But we're on Mantra. The volume's there. People will see your listing on Mantra, and royalties will work. But just to kind of like test the platform out, I was like, right, I think the floor price was like, I think 32 bone. I'd swept a load of NFTs with the token tax. I woke up one day and, you know, pre-salers, as they do, they'd got out, or at least, yeah, most of them. And it was like, without warning, just dropped the link to MarsSwap NFT marketplace, and I listed like 10 NFTs half price. One might think, well, you're dumping your own floor. Well, no, I'm not, because it worked perfectly. Because these are the kind of people that I was confident wouldn't go and list them for a 10% profit. You know, if at worst they list them for a 2x, which was the floor price anyway. So this was a way of like literally recycling liquidity. So from the token tax, sweep the NFTs without warning, flash sale, 10 NFTs, first come, first serve. They're from, you know, the ones accrued in the token project's wallet. So it wasn't done by rarity, you know, it was whatever rarity you got for the same price. And suddenly we had a few hundred bone in the wallet. I wait a little while, you know, don't pre-announce these kind of things. And then I bought a few hundred bone worth of the token, burnt that. And then when people weren't expecting it, did the same again. And it was, you know, this is what we will continue to do, but not always in that way. I have other ideas, other ways of recycling this liquidity. But yeah, essentially, it's not just sweeping NFTs with token tax. After that's done, there are ways to then recycle it further and then also sweep the token floor with liquidity that's generated from NFTs that aren't listed in the usual way. So yeah, that was really cool that day. I bought, yeah, I woke up we were at the floor a day or two after pre-sale, and after trying out this method, I'd bought and burnt our way almost to right to the top, to all-time high. And yeah, I'm not sure how, but I woke up the next day and it was like messages from a couple of people saying, you should watch this wallet, you know, they've been dumping. And it's like, thanks, but somebody who's bought like a couple of pre-sale bags, me watching their wallet's not gonna do anything. It's just the way crypto works at the end of the day. Good news is that person is out, the wallets that they had. So yeah, the token funds the future metaverse rewards. Obviously, I have to sustain the bone rewards for the NFT staking, which is done. I won't complicate things, but it's calculated on a monthly reward cycle, so that the rewards are always going to be the same. However, the epoch, or if you want to call it staking period that I set, I can set that if like the whole market, crypto dried up and our funds were running low, And I don't mean the funds in the rewards pool. I mean like the future funds that should be topping it up in the future. If they seemed, a bit thin, or like they were going to get thin, I've set it so that the staking periods variable. So I can go and set that for 2 days, and go and set that for a month, and go and set that for 2 months. But whatever it is, it's always down to the same calculation that the smart contract was written on, which is the rewards that you'll see on the DApp that we talked about earlier. But it does mean that, by being so careful about things, this is why I've done it. It just means that, if ever I feel like we need to lower the rewards, which I don't see any reason we'd ever need to do that. If anything, volume and income and revenue is going to get higher, and where it is now, we're Gucci for a long time anyway. I like to, be careful and just one step ahead. So like, I was ill the other day. I'm really ill, too ill to even. I knew that I had to probably check the epoch. But I was just too sick to look at the screen, and it meant that rewards weren't accruing still for I think a few hours, or maybe 20 hours. So the top holders might have lost out on 2 bone, 3 bone. However, I'm fairly certain everyone would agree that the way I've set it up, that's the worst that can happen. I'm ill, so I allow there to be a gap, whereas people can miss out on a bone worth of rewards or whatever. I think everyone would agree that I've done that in a smart way, and that's better than setting myself or ourselves up to be left short. I've been doing it kind of every 5 days. It's actually done in seconds. Anyone that's a devil knows. It's every time I go to press right on that contract, I'm like calculating seconds into hours to days. But yeah, I do it every few days, and I will continue to do it every few days. And if there is ever a gap, it's barely noticeable. Well, it's not noticeable. Only that time because I was ill and I wasn't able to be around. But yeah, I'd like to explain how everything works, because when you're giving bone out as rewards, I'm surprised not more people have asked, like, how do you sustain this? How do you ensure that the rewards don't just run out one day and you don't have the fund? Well, because of the way I've set it up, I can ahead of time, when the rewards are still at hundreds of bone in the pool, which takes, with 70% of the supply staked, the NFT staked, that would take a long time to exhaust. So there's no way that could ever happen. And I'm continuously, calculating things. So yeah, if ever I need to lower the rewards by 10%, which I'm 99.9% sure will never be the case, if anything, they'll increase, then you guys know that you're in safe hands in terms of and this is I try to be religious about this kind of stuff. So what I can promise is fun, a narrative that will make you want to stay staked, holding. People ask, one more thing I think of is there any, apart from scarcity, is there any kind of rewards for staking or rare NFTs? Yes, in the future there is, but no, not now. So you could buy a 1 of 1 for 1,000 bone and stake it, but you're still going to get the same as what you would get. So as a collector, as a trader, that's up to you. I've got 1 of 1. I stake it, but that's something that's probably going to get asked. So But I don't think we need to offer higher levels of API and APY at this early stage. I think what's on the table is pretty good. So yeah. I hope that answers most things.
Thank you, appreciate that. Crypto Queen here. Before it gets a little bit too late, do you mind if we allow Calvin J to get a question?
Go for it.
You're snoring. Sorry about that,
I've
guys.
asked all mine. Go for it.
No worries. Go ahead, Calvin J.
No, it's all good, and definitely appreciate you and your transparency, Sleepy Shibs. Over here taking notes for the most part. Safe to say, with the I guess you could say sleepy ecosystem going on. Um, I wouldn't really question the sustainability per se. Uh, if anything, maybe some type of like POB, proof of bone, I guess. Just for those who might be skeptical. But if I do have any questions, just for anyone who might have just entered the room, can you give them like a quick rundown of how one could participate in your project? So, what I'm asking in theory, someone saw Sleepy Ship, they're like, wow, I want one. They got one. They hear about the staking, they hear about sleepy pills and stuff like that. Once they acquire they Sleepy Ship and they stake it, what are their expectations further along in the project? In short, just running again, not the long win entire interview, but I would say quick little I guess learn and earn lesson for those who might have just entered the room. Once they acquire their Sleepy Ship, what's next for them?
Sure. Yeah, of course. I'll keep it brief as well, don't worry. So once you've acquired your Sleepy Shibs, which I do on Mantra, it goes without saying, go to, well, firstly, I'd advise everyone to join. Some people are Discord people, some people are Twitter people, some people, but just join the TG first and foremost, because you will miss out on little giveaways and little bits and bobs amongst information like this as well, that's available at ease rather than scrolling through tweets. So once you've acquired your Sleepy Shibs NFTs, you go to stake.sleepyshibs.io. I'm just trying to, as I'm doing this, just trying to find the best summary that I've got just to share on the Jumbotron. It can be a bit temperamental depending on the kind of brightness of your screen. That's something I'll change. It's not vital. When you're staking on the dApp, you'll select, firstly, you need to approve the transaction, approve the collection. And then after that, sometimes it is a little bit hard to tell. Personally, I don't have a problem. Most people don't, but just in case. If you click an NFT to stake it, and then move your mouse cursor away or your finger away, you'll see a little white circle around it. And that means it's not selected. I mean, this might sound really stupid and obvious, but you'd be surprised. So yeah, stake.sleepyshibs.io, approve your NFTs, click as many as you want to stake. Obviously, no reason not to stake them all. And then, yeah, essentially, like, it's going to be the same process that I've mentioned before, but just in steps. Hold those. The way to benefit the most out of the project, I call it the pre-metaverse kind of rewards and narrative and stage, is like any investment. You buy it, you want to make money on it. If you're smart, you hold it, because you think, if you think you're being smart, you hold it because you think it's going to go up in value. So how about holding something that you've bought because you think it's going to go up in value? You go to stake.sleepyshibs.io, you stake it, you get in bone, which is going to go up in value also. While you do that, you join our TG, you come and hang out. You get the odd free tokens, you get the odd free NFT. Just come make me laugh. I'll throw you an NFT. Come, whatever, you'll get the vibe. Once a week, you will receive a Sleepy Pills NFT. So to earn the first Sleepy Pills NFT, it's flexible. You could have just bought a couple of days ago, 2, 3, 4. You could have just bought a fat bag of tokens and not sold any for 2 days, 5 days. I just want to see something that you're a holder of more than $2 in value 5 minutes ago. You'll get your first dose. Every week, you'll get another NFT. The different contact addresses, the different designs, and basically after a month of being staked, as long as you've not been selling more than 10% of your holdings each week, which is, like I said, subject to change, because that is quite a large number when you think of it. If you hold 4 NFTs, yeah, I don't need to go into the numbers. Stake, get your Sleepy Pills, come and have fun, stack up the bone rewards. On your 4th week of being a Sleepy Pills holder, you will have the chance to pay for the postage and packaging of a Shiba Cool's NFC chipped real life Sleepy Pill, which is not just an ornament. It's going to have use case, i.e. the Sleepy treats. So after 4 weeks, you've been earning bone, you've earned half of your initial investment. You now own a very rare item that's been manufactured and designed just for this project. It has utility, gives it value, and that is your ticket to earning Sleepy treats. So that's the next layer of rewards. This project's all about layered reward system. There will be a paper coming out on Sleepy treats, and there's a reason why I don't talk more about them. But I also believe that giving to people too much too soon, is not needed. So you stake, you get your Sleepy Pills, you get your physical, you get your 6th week since you started staking. You could be accumulating tokens. You could be selling sometimes. And, like I said, that's cool. As long as you're not dumping half your bag every week, then you will stop receiving Sleepy pill dosages. People sometimes have issues in their life. They have to sell it. But unfortunately, there have to be rules. Otherwise, everyone who ever bought and staked one NFT would suddenly be entitled to this whole narrative, which is just not possible. So with you, I'm human. I understand that people should be given a second chance. So you will, even if you're on your 3rd dose, your 3rd week earning, to get to your next layer of rewards, you would, if you sold your holdings or unstaked and sold them all, or most of them, you will not receive that next dose. But you're allowed to start again, But the logic here is that no one that's that far into it, is going to go ready and throw that away. So yeah, after 4 weeks of staking, you've earned at least half of your initial investment back. By now, the floor price is more than what you paid for it, which when you're buying the token, that's enough for all of us, isn't it? We hold things, they've gone up in price, we're happy. So you've also been earning rewards, and they're not our token, they're bone, You've got your physical Shiba coils, sleepy pill. You are now entitled to the sleepy treats. You'll be earning various Shibarium tokens. When I say various, I'm not just talking about like we allow any project to throw some in the pool. No. It'll become more apparent. But the first one to be in there and distributed, it's hard to say without giving it away. But at one point, it was the largest liquidity pool and largest market cap on the chain, and it will be again. Well, I mean, can't predict the future, but that's pretty certain. And there are one or two more projects that will be not set in stone yet, but they'll be coming to you in the form of sleepy treats. So you're earning bone. You know, you've earned a significant portion of your investment back. Your investment is now worth however many percent or X's than it was when you paid for it. This is the design. And then on the 6th week, you then have a snoring SHIB, which is, we'll start to drop teasers of them. But essentially think about how many, there are 3,333 sleepy SHIBs. How many snoring SHIBs do you think are going to get minted and evolved? Not many. So if you're somebody who wants to collect and keep going, it's going to keep going. There'll be staking introduced as from that point onwards, where you can stake your snoring SHIB. And if you have your snoring SHIB and you burn and send to the dead address all your accrued sleepy pill NFT airdrops, and you stake your snoring SHIB, bear in mind you've still got all your original sleepy SHIB staked. You're still earning bone from that. The floor price is still going up. That's the next layer. And that's as far as I will be going in terms of telling anyone publicly or just basically revealing. So we're talking 5-week period from now, all of that. So that's that's me kind of giving it to you verbally, as brief as I can. But if you want to come into the TG, I'll get a tweet written up with it summarized. But yeah, t.me at Sleepy Shibs. Same as the Twitter. Really easy handles to remember. Handy. And terrible pun there. Yeah, so you know, there's obviously there are visuals and there are filters in the TG. I'm not the best at multitasking, but yeah, I'll get one of these pinned up on the Jumbotron. Let me just a sec. I do want to do that now. But yeah, guys, I can see hands up, so I'll mute myself and I'll find a tweet to pin up.
Yeah, for sure, and definitely appreciate you. Hop into the Telegram, go stake, have some fun, earn some rewards. Understood. And definitely see the lad up here, Andrew. How you feeling? And do you have any questions for Sleepy Ships?
Yeah, I forgot my hand was up, but he already answered my question. I actually had two of them, and he answered them. So, while I am speaking though, Sleepy Shib, Jay, right? Correct. Jay. So I went ahead and staked my Sleepy Shibs, and just wanted to give you a heads up and see if I could get one of those sleep pills.
Jay might be on mute.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I was just getting a tweet done. Yeah, you can. Have we Sorry, I'm just writing the tweet up. But we spoke before on TG. It doesn't matter if we haven't. Just wondering who to keep an eye out for. Yeah, just DM me now.
I'll hit you up.
DM me now on Twitter.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, I'll
Sure
hit you up.
thing. Sure thing. So I did promise it as well. So Dream, I wanted to do some kind of giveaway to celebrate 1,000 mints. Which, you know, as I'm sure he would say in his humble words, is, you know, just because our floor price or, you know, the cost of our NFTs are lower, it doesn't mean that they're worth any less. But I wanted to try and like give, you know, bring some of his holders into kind of my world, into Sleepy Shib's story. So I did offer 5. And all I'm going to ask from Dream or any other mods or admins who might be here now, I can get onto this later anyway, is that, you know, if you guys can provide me with that information, whoever those 5 mints were, because I'm aware that you're minting them up on Shib Co-op, and I'm not sure if there's anywhere else. So yeah, so there's 5 going there. I know that there were, yeah, well, you're definitely going to get one. And there are, I think, still around 7 that, of course, I'm not rushing to give out. They're there for people like yourself to come to me and say, yo, you know, give us one of those, man. I want to get on board. And yeah, but there is a limit of 50. And it has to be that way because there's only so much money in the world. There's only so much reward. There's only, you know, I think we'll find that, you know, there are more than enough. But, you know, scarcity is always good. So, sure, after this, I will check my DMs on Twitter and I'll get one sent over to you. And then expect to receive the second dose today as well, everyone that's got their first in their wallet. If you haven't got it in the wallet that it was sent to, you're going to have to contact me. And sometimes, listen, I'm only human, and anyone that knows me knows I do pretty much everything myself. And that's not because I'm cheap. I don't want to pay people or mods. No, because I've learned. That's why this project did well very quickly in a short amount of time, because I handle things and they get done properly. Sometimes, you know, which obviously as we scale, obviously I already have plans, you know, it's getting to that stage now where I've got an extra pair of hands lined up, but I'm human. One mistake I may make is I might have missed you off a list for something or other, or, you know, whatever. So not you personally, but anyone who might join us. And I think everyone knows that about me anyway, but, you know, I always stick to my word, and I might innocently miss someone of something sometimes. But yeah, I'm going to go and pin a summary of that. I'm going to tweet that out now.
Jay, can I ask you real quick, if you have a Sleepy Shib or a sleeping pill in your wallet, it won't show up in Mantra, right? You have to go to Shibarium scan to see it?
Yeah, it will show. So, well, no, in short, not on Mantra. No, I haven't actually contacted Mantra to get it put up there because I don't want to create a culture where they're traded, because they should be earned. You know, I mean, but listen, anything I ever say, and I don't ever want anyone to disagree with something I say and then not tell me, you know, I don't buy it. And if anyone ever feels like, no, Jay, you know, get them up there, you know, please do tell me. And I will consider, at the very least, consider what people's suggestions may be. But I just feel like, yeah, they're not up there because I don't want to encourage what I've seen other projects do. They meant well, that they probably didn't. I probably learned this because of them, and I'm not better than them. It's just I've seen other projects have kind of similar things, passes or VIP or whatever, and then they get sold on. somebody, whether it's for cheap or not, it doesn't really matter. But the person who buys it hasn't earned it. They might have earned the money they paid, but they might have just won the lottery that day, and they might have just bought it, and you know, they don't deserve to be, because there's also sleepy pills. Pill, it will be called the pill. Basically, a friend, let's say, a friend project of ours is building a Shibarium gateway portal, kind of like Collabland. So yeah, there's going to be a Pill Freaks TG. That's almost ready, that gateway. So we're going to use that so we can verify everyone. Before, I was going to deploy an ERC20 token and just airdrop all Sleepy Pills holders, like 1 token or point something of a token, and then use Collabland. But yeah, so someone's already on the case for that. So you can't see our mantra, but sorry, I do ramble.
No, you're
You
good.
can
I just
see
wanted to
it
make
on.
sure I didn't miss it.
Mhm.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, perfect.
So you can see, I don't know, everyone's different. Some people like to see them on a market, but if you go to ShibaSwap, and you go to your wallet on ShibaSwap, I can't remember the UI, how it works. It's very simple. You can see it on there. But yeah, all the metadata and all the, it's all done nice and tidily, so you can see it on Shibarium scan,
Okay,
or
awesome.
on ShibaSwap. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, did you or Bender have any questions? I know we've covered a lot tonight, and I sure do thank you, Jay.
No, those are all my questions. Definitely appreciate you, Jay. Thank you for coming through.
No worries, man. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. Yeah, because I, as you can probably tell, I'm passionate about what I do. I sometimes I'm like, fuck, I've been going on for 40 minutes without letting anyone speak. So I really do hope that hasn't put anyone off from asking me questions that they would have liked to. But try to avoid another half an hour of me talking. I'm approachable. I don't bite. I'm active way too much, probably 21 hours a day. So I'm always around. If you forget anything you'd like to ask, just follow me on TG or Twitter, and yeah, I'll get a tweet up. I'm not very good at multitasking, especially after being awake so long. So what I will do is I'll wait till I'm done, and then I'll get a tweet pinned on Sleepy Ships, and that will just have like the layered reward structure, the staking link, and the TG link.
Perfect. Well, we sure do appreciate you staying up so late to talk with us tonight. Bender, I didn't want to miss you if you had some questions.
No, it's been a pretty thorough presentation, Sleepy Shib, and I appreciate you coming up here this evening. And well, evening for us sounds like way late for you with everything. So yeah, man, it's just been a lesson in different types of ways to go about the NFT project and process, and I'm blown away, man. I've been taking notes. This is beautiful. So yeah, thank you for taking the time out this evening.
No, I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for having me, man. We'll definitely keep in touch more and whatnot as well. No, I appreciate the opportunity. You're welcome on my spaces as well. I did have them weekly before. I think that you knew about them, but yeah, sleepy. And then last week, Thanksgiving, I think it was, when I finally got around to organising one. It was like I had a few messages saying, not being British, I probably picked the wrong day. So I delayed it. I haven't picked a date yet. So whenever that is, I'll announce this week for Friends Helping Friends spaces. And, any of you guys who want to come and say a few words, if I don't approach you, feel free to give me a shout. If you suggest any projects you feel like should get the stage, we usually get a good audience on there as well, and you know, they're like yours, just organic. We like to talk. Queen's been on there and whatnot. So yeah, man.
Well, no worries, man. I know you're up late here, man. If you want to hang out and check out the recap portion of it, great. If not, man, I understand completely. And once again, we do appreciate Queen. Queen, did you want to leave him with any thoughts?
No, just say thanks for being here. I enjoyed it, and I always learn something from listening to you. It's super complex what all you're doing, and I'm impressed every day when I hear something new that you've cooked up. So thanks again. We appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And yeah, I will be sticking around. I'll be on mute, obviously. That'll be music to your ears. No, I've got no time to sleep. I'm getting the second dose of sleepy pills out amongst a couple of other things, and yeah, I'm all ears. I look forward to listening to the rest of you guys doing the recap.
Well, no doubt, man. Thank you once again, Crypto Queen. Can we get some applause for Sleepy Shibs, please? Sorry for you on the spot there. No? Okay. A lot of spaces, y'all. Crypto Queen, I don't know if you heard. If we can get some applause, please.
Oh,
Don't leave me hanging now.
I'm sorry, I did. I don't know what happened to it. Let me try again.
All right, spaces are
Might have had
spazzing.
it
Don't
on
worry about
mute
it.
and trying to applause at the same time. That's great.
No, no worries. No worries. Let's see here. I think we're gonna jump into the news show. And again, thank you for Sleepy Sheeps for coming up here with everything too as well. Just shout out to everybody in the room. Appreciate y'all tonight. It's week number 80, Sheep Weekly Recap. That's blowing my mind. Week number 80. But yeah, I think outside the infamous tonight, I got permanently suspended. I just really wasn't. I was there. I was actually here, but I just didn't talk much. Julie Cap took over. Big shouts out to Julie Cap. Big shouts out to Shayla. Big shouts out to Lads. Crypto Nick OG ain't here either. Big shouts out to her, and of course the esteemed Haley High Def. Speaking of that, ShibaArmy.co, Cheggy 19, Sheep Women, Web Artists and Builders Club, Shiba Soaps, Shiba Bling, of course the Lads who's up here too as well, the Shiba Force. Also, make sure you catch us Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern for the Crypto Recap X Spaces, where I absolutely probably won't study for anything, and we'll just see how that goes. It's just a exact opposite of today. But yeah, once again, thanks Sleepy Sheeps for coming out here. Make sure you check out Sleep with $sign with that NFT project. Let's see here. Let's get right into it. Lucy's top 5 signs to trust Sheep in price declines. We'll talk about that. Big shouts out to Sheep Night. SHYTOSHI's teases Shiba Soaps in Sheep Mag soon. Big shouts out to TFW, Tutti Frutti Women. SHYTOSHI reacts to Sheep White Paper Deep Insights. Shouts out to Mr. Sandman. Sheep the Magazine features Coin Merge, Shibarium, and the Web3. Big shouts out to Calvin J once again for bringing that to my attention so I could get 1 minute. And then Welly Friends. First, they were discussing about cooking up with the big local football team. I'm assuming soccer. Big shouts out to Crypto Cream. Later on in the week, we found out that they will sponsor the 2 largest high school teams. I think these teams. I think it's like 900 plus games. Wellies will be the main promoter with it, I believe, with the Welly sign on the shirt. So big shouts out to Wellies for that one. Also, speaking of Wellies, they big shouts out to SRV. They got a game task force, and SRV, I guess, is I didn't see a lot of details in the tweet, but game task force and big shouts out to SRV. Speaking of that, SRV, if you're still in the room, thank you for your words of wisdom on Discord. I'm gonna say great community builder. How about that? Appreciate you. I kept an open mind. Unification, new medium update, Unode and Shibarium. I think I've got the short notes on that one, but big shouts out to the bus. Also, now nodes, medium, Shibarium develops tutorial. This was kind of interesting. It's like a little 4-section thing. But big shouts out to BPP. And then Shibarium project launched etiquette guidelines thread. That was Lucy Sheep. Also, Shibarium sees 748,000 transactions. I believe this was on the 30th of November. Big shouts out to Calvin J. And then Shibarium, 5 million transactions, 30,000 accounts, 1 million addresses. I'm just going to say that was earlier in the week because I didn't put a date there. But I think within the last 24 hours, 7.4 million transactions. Interesting one from, I believe, yeah, Calvin J here. Block Bytes, I think that was Joe's tweet. That's what I'm thinking about. But Block Bytes went from 995 to 75,000. Really interesting stats. And then Shibarium also had 10 million transactions, 1.8 million blocks, 1.2 million addresses. I'm rounding up here, y'all. I know it's like 1 point whatever. And then that was of December 1st. Big shouts out to the bus. Shibarium, the 3 keys: burn rate, process transactions, and publicity, according to Lucy Sheep. And then Sheep, the coin goes beyond a meme. I thought this was an interesting article Lola presented, focusing on ShibaSwap and the reason why it was no longer a meme. Bone, featured Binance DeFi section. I just put a question mark by listing because it is a DeFi section there, but not listed actually on Binance. But big shouts out to Joe. And then Binance moves 153 billion SHIB. We weren't really sure why, but Mr. Salmon brought that to our attention, and we appreciate it. 300 billion SHIB transferred from a Binance wallet. Big shout out to Joe. Whales moved 230. I believe it got updated to 300 billion, but off of Binance, so 230 to 300 billion, I guess you'll say, off of Binance. It was also about 32 million overall in assets. Big shouts out to Lucy Sheep. At Plena, Plena, at Plena Finance, it's a non-custodial. I believe they've got like 100,000 plus cryptos available, but they did list sheep, which makes me wonder how did they get that far without listing sheep. But big shouts out to BPP. And then Dirabet underscore IO, I believe they specialize kind of like in trading and gaming from what I was checking out on the site. But they did also add Sheep 2 as well here, I believe last week. Big shouts out to the bus. At Wallet Connect, it's easier now to integrate within Shibarium with that platform. Big shouts out to the bus. Also, BitGet Wallet, she did an airdrop event. I believe that's going through December 8th. I'm pretty sure there's some fine print there. Do your research. But BitGet Wallet is doing the Sheep airdrop event. Zipto app, formerly known as FCF Pay, introduces at Zipto Pay, and they're going to be able to set crypto and that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure she was on that list. Don't let me act like I checked though. Don't let me lie. Do your research. Coinbase. Speaking of doing research, Shop Pay, you can use Sheep and plus other cryptos. That crypto was a very short list there, Calvin J. But big shouts out to you for presenting that info. I think they've been on Coinbase for a while now, but always good to remind folks. She burn rate 499 jumps. I'm sorry, 499% with 264 million sheep burn. That was up as of the 27th. Also, big shouts out to Christine for both of these. So I think I'm gonna pull this article up if it's not up here already. But interesting thing, and it happened the week before, and a couple weeks ago, I should say, and I couldn't find it. But they had listed 410 trillion sheep burned, circulating supply 580 trillion sheep. If I'm not mistaken, I bet without even me looking it up, which I'm gonna look it up still. But I bet on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap it is 589. If I'm not mistaken, there. As a matter of fact, I am pulling it up now. I'm just going to take a quick peek here while I'm talking to y'all. If CoinGecko ever updates. Yep, 589 million. I'm pretty sure that's the same coin market cap. So interesting thing coming out of the article, and I would like to know how they calculated that. But 9 trillion less. nonetheless, according to that article. And then let's see here. Let me see. Oh, I'm liking my real notes. No wonder. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not even on Twitter right now. There we go. Live. 573 million SHIB was burned this week in 44 transactions. Big shouts out to the burn captain. Overall, for the month of November, 1.3 billion SHIB were burned in 273 transactions. Big shouts out to Calvin J. And I'm also want to shout out the big guys. I like to call them SHIB Knight. And then Shibarium. You know, I always like to keep a little bit of safety on your mind. So Shibarium, safety. You got to watch out for fake Discord links on CoinMarketCap. Fake Discord links on CoinMarketCap. Just go directly to the source. That's what I always do. Big shout out to Lucy Sheeb on that one. Speaking of Lucy Sheeb, the core team emails are examples of who you should be looking out for in terms of context. So, for example, xxx at sheeb.io. At sheeb.io, I think, was the main thing you got to look out for. And then scam websites promoting, this was crazy. I had never heard of this, but these websites are doing these paper hand things. So they'd be like, you know, if you were holding this long and you hadn't sold it, then you would have made this, you know, like find out what you, and then, like people were connecting their wallets and getting them drained. Like, it's crazy out here. Community shout, be safe out here, y'all. Community shout outs, you know, Shibiko, Shibarium, everybody. Sheep Dream, partners with Sharpie Token. That was back on the 27th. Congrats there. Bus, I think, took the challenge last week when I said, you know, just tag me in something if you want a community shout out. He did too. First, Crypto Lola, still sending Sheep hoodie care packs out. She's got a big list. I'm going to show it to y'all. Also, TFW, Tutti Frutti Women, drops their inspiring book, I should say, on Shibarium. I believe that was through Pawsar. Big shouts out to Bus there too. And since he did that, I am going to post up here also his YouTube video with the Crypto Lola hoodie on. Very cool. So thank you, Bus. Static. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Sabotage. Yeah, Sabotage. First off, big shouts out for doing those graphics once again. I know I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it now. Also, though, I believe was one of 4 finalists for the Sheeb hoodie contest with Dream 2 as well. So congrats there. ShibaSwap gives to hughtdouglas.org. I believe they help out colleges. So I want to say it was Morehouse. I'm going off of memory here. I'll pull it up here in a second. Sheep Train grew the first harvest of saffron flowers. I'm gonna pull this up, y'all. These flowers are purple. They're beautiful. Big shouts out to Sheep Train. I keep it in my bio. I wouldn't be here without the Sheep Train. And then my guy, I probably should talk about him every week, but I've been watching at Sheep Japan, but it's JPN at Sheep Japan for going around. He'll go around Japan. He's putting up these stickers. He's putting them in wild places. He'll give you a little background story on why he's doing it. It's always like little popping spots. But big shouts out to the Sheep Japan for always putting in that work. And then Jim Professor dropped the token S Data Analytics. I think it's $SDA. But big shouts out to Danger for bringing that one to my attention. Coach George wins a Sheep Racer NFT, I believe, from my guy HAC. Not I think it's 393. It might be 939, but it's one of the two. Big shouts out to him. I can't remember off memory. As well as Chrissy over there at the Charity Token. Love their project. Love the spaces. Thank y'all so much. And then I won one too. Don't let me lie. But big shouts out to Coach George though, because I'd rather highlight him. And then speaking of that, big shouts out to the co-op Saturday night too. I didn't even have that listed. Wonderful spaces. Learned a lot. And yeah, excited for the future of the co-op. And then Calvin J had a heck of a week, y'all. Won a music NFT Friday night. Silhouette is my jam. Big shouts out to Fondue. Also, won a Sleepy Ship. Speaking of Sleepy Ships up here, Colonel Coop NFT too as well. And then Coinbase replied to him with the shield, I believe, on the gear tweet. So big shouts out to Calvin J this week. And then last but not least, Lad's T-shirt Shiba Blink contest believes in. Been off all week on this last. I was tweeting out the first, like, I still got today. I'm thinking it's November sometime. I'm a hot mess, y'all. Just messed up early. I think one space I'd said he was planting like 400 trees an hour or something. It was feels like a year. So I don't know. But big shouts out to Lad. I appreciate him always coming up and correcting me too. But the Shiba Bling contest, I believe, goes to one today. If I remember hearing him earlier. So that's it. Pretty much news for the week. Also, I did want to add my quick thoughts here on Sheet the magazine before I forgot. I think we've kind of went over Coinbase and all that kind of stuff too as well. I was kind of, I won't say these were conspiracy theories. I will say it was interesting. So 5 explosive crypto trends to watch out for in the next bull run. I'm not going to go deep into these, but you can read the magazine. It's pulled up here. But real world assets is an RWA tokenization. Kind of goes pretty deep off in that. Gaming on the blockchain, social media, and DeFi. Layer 2 solutions for enhancing scalability and efficiency. AI and crypto integration. Those kind of things too as well. So that was just kind of my take on that. And yep, that's it. And then also this is the other one I wanted to cover here. This was the why are 10 future tech trends the scariest? I think it's actually what I was talking about. Here we go. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI. It's kind of crazy. It's like AI that can kind of think on its own. Best way I can speak on that. Autonomous weapons. I think we all kind of get the gist there. And then deep fakes and misinformation, biometric surveillance and privacy concerns, gene editing and designer babies, climate engineering, quantum computing security risk, brain computer interface, also known as BCI, ethical concerns. I can see that. Virtual reality addiction and psychological implications. I can say my implications tonight. But yeah. And number 10, microchip implants. Yeah. I think we had a spirited discussion on Wednesday night about that. But yeah, that's the rundown for me on the magazine and the sheet for a week. Before I forget here, Crypto Queen, you got any shout outs? Community
Oh
shout
my
outs?
goodness. I think we need to give you a shout out for some waterbender. That was a lot to cover.
Right. It's all good.
Oh no, I don't think anything other than what you've already mentioned. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the Shib Army lately, and I've been so excited to see it. And I don't know where to start with all this news.
It's definitely been an interesting week here. Calvin J, you got any shout outs you want to give? Community shout outs?
Shout out to the community always. Um, Definitely in the holiday spirit. I won't lie to you. And I mean, whew, technically, like, yeah, I would kind of say like conspiracy ish, but I mean, everything is speculative, you know? At the end of the day, we still had 12K bears on the Bitcoin, and we had 9-0 bears on the SHIB. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, people could they bullish or bearish things, but we just gotta go with the facts and go with the numbers that are presented to us day by day, week by week. So shout out to everyone that, endured the bear market. I'm not necessarily saying that we are out of that, but we survive in the fudge, y'all. So shout out to the community.
Shout out to 40,000 Bitcoin. I think we're at 40.5 right now.
Let's go.
Smelling like 2021 again. Not financial advice. But that's good to hear. They obviously play their part in the market. Lads, I don't know if you can talk. You got any community shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I'm actually walking to the car now. I am free, guys. Free. This has been a long week. I think I am at 67 hours. I still got to drive up to the building and punch out, but yeah, quite a long week. But anyways, shout out to everybody winning something this past week. I heard all kinds of NFTs being given away, and all kinds of people winning things. And shout out to Dream, Shib Dream NFT. I see you grinding. I see all the affiliates grinding, and shout out to all of you guys. You guys are, I don't know, you guys are doing good things, and I love all the giveaways. I love the community building, and shout out to Sleepy Shib here, Jay. It was nice to get to know your project a little bit more. I've only heard positive things about the project, and that's why I became a holder, started issuing out those loans to acquire some. I didn't think I was going to become a loan shark ever in my life, but no, I'm good about it. But yeah, no, yeah, shout out to everybody here in the space tonight. And shout out to you, Bender, for always holding a space here for the community to gather and keeping us up to date on the news. I'll be back. I'm going to go drive up to the building, punch out, and I'll be back.
Well, shout out to you, Lash, for getting off work, man. I know it feels beautiful. I always get a little jump in energy and that kind of thing. And definitely be safe in your travels out there, too, as well. Always making it home is omni important. Take your time if needed. Thank you. I think I heard you the other day talking about a snowstorm. I don't know if that's still the case. But yeah, beautiful thing. And make sure, I don't know, lads, I don't know. Crypto Queen might know better than me. When is when is the space coming up this week?
Well, tomorrow at 1 o'clock will be the next space, and they're gonna go over the winners of the t-shirt contest, the design contest for Shiba Bling. So that'll be exciting. And then as far as regular spaces, I'm not sure this week. I think it'll depend on work schedule.
Oh, now is the contest, I should say, going through 1 p.m. tomorrow?
Yep, right up
Oh,
until the space, I believe.
I don't even know. I'm sorry, I even questioned you earlier. I forgot who I was talking to. Like, I
No, no, you're good.
yeah,
1 p.m. Eastern, so it'll be 12 Central.
yes, thank you. Why I got your attention here? You got any things you want to highlight this week in sheep news?
Yeah, I do. I missed a shout out when you asked. I want to shout out to the Shib Co-op who did an amazing job with Spaces last night. They covered three new projects or services they're coming out with, which nobody guessed. I couldn't believe it. Nobody guessed all three right, but we did have a dream to give out if they did, so we'll have to figure something else out. But they covered for me. I was under the weather yesterday, and I tried to listen in. We had a great turnout. It was a great space, but yeah, so lots of cool things coming for Shib Co-op, and if you get a chance to catch that space, it's well worth your time, I believe. To hear what's new there. But as far as ship news, I wanted to talk about Welly. That's exciting. You did cover it some in the intro, and they are now the main sponsor of the two largest high school football teams, which is actually what we think of as soccer in the city of Naples. So that's the first step to introduce the world of Web3 to young minds who already know them as fast food. There'll be 2,000 students involved, 250 plus players across 900 plus matches until July. So a lot of potential eyes on Welly, and the most important thing right now is to get it popular in the city where the first restaurant is, and then expand it out from there. So that's exciting. And yeah, for sure, SRV, not only is he trying intently to get a franchise going in his city of San Antonio, but he's also for those that don't know, he's a very talented artist and 3D animator, 2D, 3D. And so he's working with a team. I think there's maybe 5 people on the team, just a community team, that are putting together a game for the community, which will be super cool for Welly to have something to play that was actually put together by the community. So there was a tweet that went out with that, with a little picture of one of the pigtail Wellies, how they're working on animating her. So I don't think any date is set yet, but excited to learn more about that. And then a few things that I thought were interesting with Shib in general. I thought the Shibarium project etiquette was a nice thing to put out there. I think everybody so far has been, really good about this, but just some good reminders. If not, just mutual respect is always important. Supporting the Shib Army, be positive and helpful, respecting others, don't harass team members, of course. Avoid misinformation, be original, no cloning of asset names, positive engagement, and no toxicity. So lots of kind of bullet points under each of those, but just a reminder, by adhering to those guidelines, we're all contributing to a welcoming and thriving Shibarium community. So that was put out by Lucy. I thought that was really nice. And then another thing that she put out was 5 signs to trust a token amid price decline, which right now we're up, so that's great. But as you see the token going down, just sometimes it's good to remind yourself it's not all about the price, but 5 other things to kind of be considerate of is that the token has a clear vision. Consider the long-term goals of the project, the community engagement for SHIB. We have a huge, huge community. Um, Supportive community is key. Active development, check for ongoing improvements. And as you all know, SHIB is continuously building, whether it's on the tokens, on AI, on the metaverse, games. We're continuing to build, definitely move past that meme token status. Real world use cases, look for adoption or partnerships. I think every week we have something new coming out, whether it's Manny Pacquiao or, um, you know, getting listed on the um, what's it, the Binance DeFi section for Bone. Hopefully, that's a precursor to being actually listed. Strong fundamentals is important. Assess the token's technology, use case, and the team. Of course, we all have faith in the team and are continuing to see use cases pop up. So yeah, I thought those were two kind of cool things. It seemed more appropriate as the price was down, but even now, we'll see dips as we go up, hopefully. Um, because it has to consolidate and rest and then regain strength. So just keep those in mind. Don't get discouraged if you do see price decline. As long as we're continuing to add holders, we're continuing to add those use cases and those partnerships. That's what is so important. And I'll leave it here and go on to Calvin J and come back. Thanks, Bender.
Appreciate you, Queen. And we can start with well, okay, let's start with payments. It was interesting to get an update from Sharby. I'm pretty sure Zipto, Zipto app utilizing Zipto Pay, uh, formerly known as FCF Pay. They had some issues with their X account. The affiliate page for FCF Pay seems to be up and operational. So additional information on Zipto Pay is available. But I will say personally, I found this information during Sharby AMA. Uh, like and subscribe. Tune into the YouTube. Tune into the X account and just get the latest information on not only Sharby, but everything going on within Shibarium and the network. And going along further with payments, I would say, cool, high five to Coinbase. I mean, that was cool. Ultimately, marketing is marketing. You show support for people. Hopefully, they will show support for you back. You know, and we might not know what's going on with all of these transactions and uh, I don't want to say extended blocks, but bits are going up. Uh, at the end of the day, we will find out at some point. We will find out who will be the next big player um, on Shibarium, and we just have to wait and see. Looking forward to, I would say, it's been a change in narrative for me personally with the Shib magazines, only because like I actually look forward to Mondays. It's and again, decrease of FOMO because there are more issues of the magazine for every additional week. So as we continue on this journey and we do adopt more investors, more on new onboardees, the availability for them to indulge increases as well. So that's great. And yeah, like you actually have something to be excited about on a Monday. Uh, if any project or any individual wants to be in the magazine, definitely reach out to shib.io again and follow the steps given and be as transparent as possible. Looking forward to seeing Shiba soaps and scrubs, and we have we have been honored and we are proud to do our part within the community to not only interview projects and help market them in a business sense, but also all forms of marketing are acceptable and suggested when you want to expand as a business. And as we work towards, more metaverse developments and we have rumors of beta testing and things like that, we still have to stick to, um, I guess you could say, Web 2 rules and regulations, just as far as, you want to make sure business is done right. We have seen uh, manipulators or even people just take advantage of certain protocols and other blockchain ventures. We can even compare certain things like, yes, Binance is definitely not no FTX, but due to, I guess you could say, the loose ends that they had, it was a problem that we faced trying to go along and claim us as legit good actors with legit, honest, hard earned money, honest earned money. Uh, it does change the narrative. So we have all of these updates with such and such network adopting to this Web 2 company. We have such and such, uh, I would say, promotion of different layer 2s. It becomes like a seasonal thing for about a period of time. You hear about Polygon, then you switch over to this, switch over to that. As optimistic as one may be, uh, the markets move in cycles. And although we do avoid price action, we know what is building, or we know who is building, rather, I should say. And it's an ongoing thing, regardless of the publicized narrative. So I say that to say, always indulge in, I guess, the telegrams, the discords, hop into somebody's DM, get all of the information, because what might be publicized or um, the trend or the conspiracy at the time might not be what is the best for you per se. And even if it is, do what's comfortable for you. It's the most bullish thing ultimately is something that's already had happened. When people hear about, when you read about 10x's and things like that, it's a, you don't want to be in that position late, but you want to be around while people are building. We have seen many projects come to Shibarium when people doubted it even functioning. First week was a little rough. First month was pretty good. Bumps in the road, yes, but ultimately we are still here growing and thriving. So many things going on in the ecosystem. I just want to end it off to say, again, shout out to the community and shout out to everybody that's building. And let's make sure that we are doing things the right way. Um, I applaud you, Sleepy Shibs, not only for coming up to speak with us tonight or even this morning for you, but how you say there will be future awards and various Shibarium tokens, and you can't just have any regular tokens. And we're not doing things in a centralized way, but we want to make sure that people are safe, as should be. We know that there are nefarious actors all over many different networks. So, with proper discernment, one will be able to expand on Shibarium the same way they were able to expand their portfolio on the main parent chain. So do your research on all of these upcoming projects, and hopefully you'll see some familiar names in the future. And I'll wrap it up there. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Calvin J, for bringing up some interesting ones. And I do agree in terms of the future here too as well. And we'll see moving forward here. Also, Crypto Queen, kind of going back to what you said. Hey, thank you for going kind of depth in both of those articles. I definitely wanted to get to both of those. I did think the five signs to look out for too uh, kind of fit, generally what I would think of, just a project and things I would look out for. So I didn't think. I should say I thought it was a pretty thought out process there with it as well. So appreciate you. Before I get to any other ones I've got here, lads, I don't know if you're available, if you want to talk, or if anything, if you had any thoughts still on sheep this week, we'd like to hear 'em. Might be driving, no worries. So I think I've got my article pulled up here. The only other one I just kind of want to go in depth a little bit on here. It was from the unification. I do have the whole entire medium pulled up here. I'll be honest with you. If you're not a dev, I probably won't read that whole thing to you because it is some. I reread paragraphs 2, 3 times, that kind of thing. But I did find the Shibarium parts. So in the pipeline, share rewards. This is still in the early research stage. We're currently investigating the potential for offering joint rewards and unification validators who are also validators in Shibarium network, such that operators running on both networks will receive bonus fund rewards on the unification network. The idea is that the operators will be able to periodically claim additional fund rewards on the unification network, which will be calculated both based on the stake in both networks. The current implementation proposals that operators will need to opt in by registering and linking their validator address on the respective networks, for example, via a new module unification and a contract in Shibarium. The system will periodically calculate additional rewards, which the validators will be able to withdraw to their wallet via the unification module. Also, on the notes, we'll run a core set of supported networks to begin with. Unification mainnet deployed, RPC, HTTPS, HTTPS, and web sockets and REST. Shibarium mainnet deployed. the JSON RPC and HTTPS and WebSockets there too as well. So that has been deployed on Shibarium. They'll continue to monitor the usage and development plan to add support for other networks, for example, Polygon, IPFS, testnets, etc. In the future, if there is a high enough demand for them with that one. So that was kind of the narrowed down portion of the Shibarium related out of all that medium there for you. And then also, let's see here. I did want to pull up this one. Again, Crypto Lola presented this. Shiba Inu goes beyond meme status, analyzing the utility and use cases of SHIB token. I'm gonna skip the introduction here. From meme to mainstream, Shiba Inu burst onto the crypto scene in 2020, riding that wave of popularity surrounding meme coins. Inspired by the success of Dogecoin, she quickly gained traction as a community-driven project. The ShibaSwap decentralized exchange further fueled the rise, providing a platform for users to trade SHIB and other tokens. Despite its meme origins, Shiba Inu development team known as the Shiba Army has been actively working to expand the token's utility beyond just a joke or speculative asset. Question arises: what gave SHIB value, and how it's different from other memes? It goes on to talk about understanding the utility, decentralizing the meme economy, community-driven developments, use cases beyond the meme, transparency and security, challenges and criticisms, and then it wraps up there with a conclusion. That's probably about a 5-minute article, so I'm gonna spare you all the details on that one. But I did think that it was interesting that they had basically said, it shed its kind of meme coin status back with ShibaSwap, and that's just kind of been my thinking since summer 2020. So I'm glad I put too many 20s in there, but I'm glad there's an article also out there that kind of revert that too as well. Let's see here. It's getting kind of late. Let's go ahead and go into final thoughts here. Calvin J, you got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts would be honest, a little bit of vested interest. I ain't gonna lie to you. Don't forget to grab your merch. The holidays are here. I'm dripped out in crypto. I don't know about you. It doesn't matter where you shop. It really doesn't. Just go shop. Spend some crypto. I, I'm not watching nobody bags, but if you've been here long enough, you got some money. Oh man, these things are fun. Uh Really though, in all seriousness, support your fellow crypto projects, add to the developments, or simply rock some gear. Um, all types of promotion, support, marketing goes hand in hand. And I'm not going to be the one to sit here and say, pump those bags, but I will say, work hard and take care of yourselves as we continue to move forward. Yes, there will definitely be some correction for those who are interested in the technical analysis talk. And for those who are more interested in learning about TAs, make sure that you take a lesson in the Shibarium University via Sharby, correct me, um, and learn more about crypto while we are having better experiences in this space. I could pretty much end it there, but lastly, bone up and don't forget to bridge your ship. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Calvin J, and appreciate you coming up here again this evening. And once again, congratulations on becoming the ambassador for Sheep Dream NFTs. Wonderful to see in all your winnings this week. I'm not saying play the lotto, but I'm just saying you're on a hot streak. Uh, no seriousness though, congrats. Lads, I don't know if you're in a position to talk, but I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm gonna let Crypto Queen go, and then if you're in a position to talk, you're more than welcome. Just giving you a heads up there. But Crypto Queen, if you have any final thoughts here, we'd appreciate you.
Yeah, just kind of a conversation more than anything. I know you guys have seen the transactions shoot up in the last few days, and I wondered just kind of what your thoughts were on that. I've seen some things, anything from stress testing from a couple wallets to potentially, ShibaSwap coming. So, what are your thoughts, Bender and Calvin J?
Bender, you want to go first?
Go ahead.
All right, that's cool. Um, yeah. Queen, personally, I think it's a little bit of both. Like we got a little bit of everything. You talking about experiencing the best of both worlds. So Sheba Swap 2 is on the way. Um, I will say, I remember when we said a couple weeks ago, are we sure that they want to go with this announcement and things like that? But further announcements show that they just got to make sure things are working well as they should, because we do not want to experience more fuddish experiences. So more testing, maybe. Um, I cannot sit here and say, "Oh, we're about to get a bone listing somewhere." I cannot tell you that because I do not know that. Um, but I will say that type of activity is peculiar to say the least. And you know, I'm as interested as the next Shibison. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I really cannot call it, but I will say the blockchain doesn't lie. And you know, people can be a tad bit speculative about like the type of transactions that are going on, but I'm not a coder, but I know how things work. If I'm testing something, of course there aren't going to be value transactions. It's testing. I just don't get it. I don't. One time or another, you would think the experienced influencer would know how these things work, but we experience this all the time, every day, and test as much as possible for whatever swap, exchange, whatever so have you, ship team or whoever is out there. Test as much as possible. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Calvin J. I was thinking probably Shiba Swap too, but then I do recall one of the dev team members, might have been SHYTOSHI, but saying that they were going to kind of hold off on releasing Shiba Swap on there just to let some other projects flourish and kind of get their foot in the door and get grounded and that kind of thing too. And I think they're in the development, if I'm not mistaken, with the Shiba Swap 2.0 too. So yeah, and then I want to say, gosh, I didn't save it. I should have. But Cal's tweet, call KAL, I'll say. Um, he had tweeted something of the effect of, Shibarium, just do what you're supposed to do, and the numbers are crazy up at that point at the time. So yeah, hopefully testing for strictly speculative here. Since you asked Crypto Queen, because I don't even normally want to be that, I'm usually just like when it releases, I'll know, because like I've tried to guess before and I'm just wrong, so I've just learned to
Guys, okay.
stop. But
Hey,
yeah, go
So,
ahead,
so
Sleepy.
excuse me. So,
go ahead,
sorry to
Jay.
butt in there. I was under the impression that it was
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs, but about the SRC20 protocols, it was just, was it Woof? I don't know, some Woof Finance introduced some, basically like the Bitcoin ordinals. For those of you that know about that, they introduced the Shibarium version. There was basically, I think it was like 60 million supply, and you could mint like 10 million or so. So basically, they were just wallets just trying to mint out the max amount as they could, as gas was still cheap, basically. So they expected, I can't remember, I'd have to go back, but according to, if this was the case, there was another like 60 million expected, or something or other. But it's still speculation. I'm not saying this is definitely what it is. But yeah, somebody who knows their stuff told me that he'd found that out, and he did provide some kind of sources. But you could be wrong.
Very good. Who knows? Lots of speculation out there, but if you look at the chart, it's crazy how it jumped up and still is jumping up. I was just looking at
Yeah, it's not
Shibarium.
just the transactions either. That's the thing. It's not. Yes, the transactions. It's the price increase, and yeah, it's all heading in the right direction. Anyway, that's for sure.
Definitely
whatever, whatever
7.84
it is.
million. That's crazy. Well, yeah, looking good. Definitely not a dead chain, right?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I've been here since day 2 trying to tell people that, and I was getting laughed at and left to it. And you're starting to see those days where I'll be laughing. We'll be the ones left laughing.